Hello and welcome back. We've got another question here with a table, probably something to do with matrices. Let's have a read. The number of Google Home and Google Home Minis sold by 4 stores is given in the table shown. If the Google Homes were priced at $155 each and the Google Home Minis were priced at $60 each, use matrix operations to determine A, the total sales figures of Google Homes at each store. So Google Homes, what information do we have? We've just got this column here, Google Home. Let's make that into a matrix. So 25, 12, 20, 15. And then the total sales figures. So Google Homes are $155 each. Okay, that didn't seem too bad. Another way you could do this is as a scalar multiplication. This is a matrix multiplication. I've got a 4-row by 1-column matrix multiplied by a 1 by 1 matrix, which is just a single number really. And that will give me a 4 by 1 matrix as an answer. If I did a scalar multiplication, I'll just do that over here. I could do 155 multiplied by this matrix. And what that means is 155 is going to multiply each of these individual elements in the matrix, and you'll get the exact same answer. This is a scalar multiplication because it uses one number to multiply everything in there. This is a more kind of universal approach where it's a matrix times a matrix. So if we work that out, 25 times 155 will be 3875. 12 times 155, that's 1860. 20 times 155 is 3100. And 15 times 155, 2325. And if you did the scalar, it would give you the exact same answer. So A, the total sales figures for each of Google Homes at each store, we've got it here. This is for store A, B, C, and D. B, we've got the total sales figures for each store. Okay, so the total sales figures, we want to get the information for the Google Home and the Google Home Mini. So this one is definitely going to be a matrix that uses all of the information from the table. So we'll just copy the table as a matrix. That seems nice and easy to do. The price of Google Homes, that's our first column. So the first value that we want to put in this is going to be 155, and the next one is going to be 60. But the question is, do I make this a vertical or a horizontal matrix? Is it like this, 155 and 60, or is it like this, 155 then 60 going vertically? Well, let's think about the order or the dimension very quickly. This has 4 rows and it has 2 columns. We want to multiply by, it's either going to be a 1 by 2 matrix or it'll be a 2 by 1 matrix. So how can we check whether this is possible? We want to look at the internal values. So if we have a look here, this has 2 columns. This would only have 1 row. That doesn't work. We need, when we do matrix multiplication, we're doing a row times a column. And if they don't have the same number of elements, you'll just have a random number hanging out that's not multiplying anything. So to make sure that this is even doable or possible to do, the inner dimensions of the matrices or the inner order needs to be the same. So this one is out. It cannot be a 1-row, 2-column matrix. It must be a 2-row and 1-column for this to work. So now we know it should look like that. Now, we can just put that in our graphics calculator, or we can work it out individually, which is just 25 times 155 plus 8 times 60. And that will give you a fairly nice answer, 4,355. And just continue those matrix calculations through 2,400, 3,820, 2,925. So that's the total sales figures for each store. Now, C, the store that had the highest sales figures for 1. Google Homes. Well, we've done that for question A. So which of these is the largest? So for part 1, store A had the highest sales figures for Google Homes. Next up, part 2, Google Home Minis. This is an interesting one. Here we've got the Homes plus Home Mini. This is just, oh, that's an arrow. Perfect arrow once again. Thank you very much. I've been practicing. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell. This is just home. Now, I could subtract. I know what I could do. I could subtract. So this matrix down here is the combination of home and home mini, and I've got this home up here. So if I did this one subtracted by that one, I'll just get the minis left over. Does that sound good? Yeah. Okay, let's try that out. Another thing you do is obviously just look at the table and go, well, store C sold the most home minis. But if it asked for the sales figures for home minis, we could do that matrix calculation, but I guess we can just use that table and say, well, store C. That was a bit bland. Hang on. We could have done that for this as well. Store A, obviously if they sell more, their sales figures will be better. Anyway, that's all the time we've got for today. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.